What happens when your intimate partner threatens you with a knife and you have enough protection orders to last you a lifetime? Women's Month in Mzansi is done and dusted. The women of the country have marched, danced and sang. Bathi bakhathele yikubulawa nokudlwengulwa yimina nawe amadoda wase South Africa.
Ngangishaya ngwabiza amaphoyisa mawafika amaphoyisa kuthiwe sikhulumisane.
The police violate women at a very high degree. You go through secondary trauma when you go to the police station.
The first question you're going to get from the police is, what did you do? It's not only on the rape part, but were you guys fighting? Did you do something to provoke him?
South Africa is reported to have one of the highest incidents of intimate partner violence in the world, with as much as 50% of the women who are murdered believed to be killed by their lovers. Nobuhle Mhlongo is not dead. Yet.
Besihlezi silwa njengoba ngisho ngithi besihlezi silwa from emkhukhwini. Sishayana angixosha angilande, sishayane angixosha angilande. And so manje egcineni kwakhona ungishayile wangisikaza ngommese ukuze ngiphume endlini ngiphume ngommese. Ummese wakhona since ngavula icase azange lalandelelwa lelo case lelo. Mangithi ngiyalandelela mina bathi amaphoyisa abazi ukuthi kumele benzeni ngalelo case lelo.
Because she fears for her life, Nobuhle has left her home and now squats in a tiny backyard Mkuku with her 4 children.
Angazi ukuthi kumele ngenze njani ngoba because bengithembelele la khaya leliyana ukuthi ngilakhele abantwana bami ukuthi bangahlupheki ngoba mina umama yethu ushile nabantwana basekhaya esigangeni asinakhaya asinani. And then mina bengithi ngenzela abantwana bami lapha bengenzeli mina bengenzela abantwana bami ukuthi babe nendlu babe ne-shelter.
Like many women in Mzansi, Nobuhle has lost all faith in the South African police services.
Ngangishaya ngwabiza amaphoyisa mawafika amaphoyisa kuthiwe sikhulumisane sikhulume silale ngakusasa ekseni avuka ahamba emsebenzini mara ngaze kube i-fortnight yakhe ahola ngayo uyahola ahamba etshwaleni aphuze sibuye mabuya ngalobo busuku abuya ngabo ususirious yokuthi akunakudlala endlini sicabane angishaye ngisaba ukuthi maybe angangibulala ngoba akaqali ukungisikaza ngeke iphone last day sahlala emkhukhwini ke wangisikaza ngezembe wabuya wangishaya ngefosholo manje kokugcina ke sekangisikaze ngommese ngawuthatha ummese wakhona ngasezandleni zami.
Although the South African Bill of Rights and Constitution is lauded globally for being far-reaching, it has failed to protect Nobuhle and her children.
Since sihamba from 2010 ama protection order ngathi bewayi 10 ngathi wayi 10.
It's in protection order yini when you understand the protection order ukuthi yini.
Should that day my green protection order yakhe bamtshela ukuthi angangishayi angangihlukumezi angenzi nix. Maye yena bekahlula lokho bayajumpa loyo mthetho loyo bebambekele wona ecourt.
So ufuna ukubona kwenzakalani ke manje?
Mina ngicela kahle bengifisa sami bengifuna ukubuyela endlini. If uma ngabe thuthi kuyakhonakala aphume yena uzokhona ukuyozifunela enye indawo mina ngeke ngisakhona ukuyozifunela enye indawo because nginabantwana.
Because Nobuhle accuses the police of dragging their feet in executing a protection order against her ex, we accompanied her to a local police station wearing a spy camera.
What time did he come from work?
I don't know from
God was God wait till to come.
So what would be the solution? Because I think the reason why she doesn't know.
You see him there at home.
Hey,
Then you must phone the police, let them arrest him for you. That's the only way.
Always
In March, you opened the case. In March, that's the last case you opened. Same case.
Same case, but it's last case.
Last case was found guilty. Because you opened a long case.
Okay.
He was arrested.
Nobuhle leaves the police station with the undertaking that she should call the police on seeing her abusive ex-boyfriend. A week later, Nobuhle calls the police to check on the progress they've made in her case.
Sike safika lapho e-police station since ngavula i-case lommese, and so umphathi wama-CID wanginikeza i-case number, and then namuhla lo muntu ngimbonile angena endlini bengisacela iveni semhoba. House number ithi nyani 50 skisi nabi 50 nyani 50 you skisi. Yeah. Hey. Azange akaboshwa. Singayivula ngokukhonza ngo-April. Azange aboshwe my sister. Ngohle Miss Danso. Hey. Nobuhle. Hey. 083. No, that's this. Yeah, it's this. Bengivula icase le-assault. Wafika endlini lokhonjwa waye ekamereni, mafika ekamereni wathatha ummese bekathi ungikwaza ngawo ngawuthatha mina ezandleni zakhe. Ama-protection order my sister bengimenzela, but lesa sikhathi sahlala naye endlini bekawadabula athi ngeke ngiphinde ngimvulele any protection order, any case ngeke ngiphinde ngimvulele emaphoyiseni. Wasayangazi ukuthi ngiyahlanya. Ecourt balile bathi ngeke ngisavulela against for yona le ndoda i-protection order ngoba ungivulela i-protection order nami. Okay. Bye.
We are losing the best of kids. People that fathers or pastors that comes from a church.
Tata senazi izitshe endlini sicela uncedo kakhulu. Isizeke abantwana bethu bamfedeke. Sibalimazile sibahlukumezile abazali bethu.
No taxi, nothing. We were not notified. I get to town, there's nothing.
I think re gole le mkobi go mmereko. Re rota eng o plastic note o sina neka.
I want to thank and humble myself for the opportunity that was given to me to serve the people by the African National Congress.
The Premier resigning. Now, a new man is taking over the reins.
It's a trust deficit that has widened. I think that has been patently clear from the concerns that we have been raising. So it is not true that there is no money. No, there was no money.
On the 6th of August 2016, Nyiko Shikwambane, Amanda Mavuso, Naledi Chirwa, and Simamgele Tlagavu, who couldn't be with us today, staged a silent protest during an address by the former president, Jacob Zuma. You guys held up placards that read, "I am Kwezi," 10 years later, 1 in 3, and what was the last one, Naledi? Kanga. So it's 2 years ago now, guys. Can you guys tell me what that moment meant then and what it means today? We'll start with you, Naledi.
It meant many things for many of us, but in the moment, really, we were just being in solidarity with the other women who did the protest 2 weeks before, right? 1 in 9 campaign, and who've been advocating and putting out the word out there. Wuti Kwezi was violated. Ufezeka claimed the name after our protest. So it meant many things. It was speaking out against power, against the changes of power, against patriarchy, misogyny, and more than anything, against rape. Yeah.
Okay, Amanda, what did it mean? What does it mean today?
Looking back, I think it actually because after that there was a lot of protests that happened, and it gave birth to so many protests. It gave birth to a lot of voices of black women who came out and spoke against misogyny, against patriarchy. Also, it was more than just about, it was beyond making calling out a man who's in politics, in our political spaces, but it was mostly showing up affirmation for another woman that we believe you, even though this happened, but we still believe you. Also, it was about pitching up for another woman, even after 10 years, literally almost the people who were there have literally forgot about the whole thing. Yeah.
Nyiko, in 2018, we still have terrible rape statistics. Did it work? Did the message you were trying to get across resonate?
I mean, I think over the past 2 years, what we have seen are more and more women being unafraid to speak about being violated. Particularly after our protest in 2016, what had happened then was in the early months of 2017, we had the taxi rape saga. We had a lot of women calling into media houses, speaking about how they have been violated, crying. And for me, that was quite traumatizing because I had never in the history of my life heard so many women calling into national radio platforms speaking about their trauma, right? But then what we also saw was the international #MeToo campaign, the #Men Are Trash. So there has been, I think, a global resistance, and I'll call it a resistance more than a movement, because I do think women have been violated for over centuries.
So, look, ladies, at the time, the former president was acquitted of the charges. Why did it not matter in terms of, why did it not say to you guys, okay, he was found not guilty, therefore let us not go there. Let us distance this thing from him. Why did you guys still feel the need to attach it and present in the manner that it did happen?
For me personally, it's because during the trial, Jacob Zuma said, I had sex with her because she was wearing a kanga. And we all know that no form of clothing can ever be consent to sex. Consent to sex is saying, yes, I want to have sex.
And then what lessons should society take away from that? Versus, say, the accused versus the victim. Should we then believe every person from the get and say, if someone says Njabulo raped me, should we then say, yes, chances are Njabulo did rape her?
I think it's important to believe victims when they come out. That on its own, because we know, Wuti, this happens every 4 minutes in the country. More than the fact that a very small margin of women lie about it. So if something's already an epidemic in a country, the first response should be to believe women.
But I think at the heart of it also speaks to how we value women's bodies.
Yes.
Right? And this goes across the spectrum. Now, we're not just speaking about sexuality, but I mean, when we speak about the work of women, right? Women's work, care work, nursing, domestic work, what kind of value we give to that, right? When you look at the contribution that women make in agriculture, in land, what kind of value we give to that, right? And then how that all informs gender-based violence and how women find themselves at the end of it. And when you look at that and the law, we come from a history where at some point women were also property.
I want to talk about, say, a rape happens and me and this woman go to say this lady goes to the police station and says, Njabula raped me. What is the lived experience at the police station? What is it today? And what are you guys looking forward to seeing in the future?
Naledi did say something about the justice system being anti-women. Totally, that's true. First of all, the first question you're going to get from the police is, what did you do? It's not only on the rape part, but were you guys fighting? Did you do something to provoke him? It's one of those questions that you come across with. Also, most of the case, you find that it's the males that are actually there who are supposed to be assisting you in terms of opening a case, and they're the ones who are actually assisting. They're the ones who are actually asking you those kind of questions.
The police violate women at a very high degree. You go through secondary trauma when you go to the police station, which is why most women don't even bother to open cases, because when you go there, you're going to be assaulted again, and your trauma is going to be delegitimized, and you're going to be sucked out, you're going to be suffocated, and people are going to treat you like the rape didn't happen, and now you must be paraded in the police station. There is no sense of sensitivity for the victim, and what we are seeing more than anything, the police don't have the capacity to deal with rape cases. They must go through training, all of them. Every single one of them must go to training because they don't know what they're dealing with. They don't know what rape is. They don't know anything about rape.
What do you guys say to people who say or make the argument that the activism for women's rights, you called it a resistance? What do you say to people who say it's an intellectual, airy-fairy, pie-in-the-sky conversation? How do you make it material? How does it relate to everyday women in the streets?
Violence is relatable to anybody in the streets. If you're talking about terminologies, if you're talking about feminisms, if you're talking about patriarchy, if you're talking about gender-based violence, if you're talking about other terms, right, that speak about gender and identity, then perhaps, yes, we could do a lot more to, be engaging with everyone.
I would like for you to explain to me yini patriarchy, and I want you to put this in the simplest terms.
Patriarchy is the rule of men. Making the man the one who decides the social order to the benefit of cishet men, economically, socially, politically. It is giving the man, because he has the phallus, the leadership position.
With no contest.
That is patriarchy. With no contestation, the man is the leader, and we are the subordinates. That is patriarchy.
What is then feminism?
Feminism is about the equality of the sexes, right? So it's about men, women, and everybody in between being treated fairly and equally across the different sectors and industries or whatever, the microstructures of the world.
Women's Month, Women's Day. Why are we here? What are the benefits thereof? And what is the downside to actually, if there is one, actually to saying, now this is the month where we're going to put women on a pedestal and remember that they marched back in 56. Then
only 1 month will make room and call it Women's Month. And we'll deal with the other months. The other months are for other issues. But here is your moment. Here is your time, right?
If the Bati Women's Month, then equal wage gap, equal payment, equal remuneration was going to be legislated, and if done otherwise, then it's going to be criminalized. Because SABC is not paying their presenters the same amount of money because of their gender, then SABC will be taken to court. Then Women's Month will be something. Like if we're saying, in Women's Month, we are going to deal with 90% of the rape cases, then it will be something. We are not satisfied with the status quo in the country, and we want more. We want more from media houses. We want more from the government. We want more from political parties. We want more from each other. We want more from men. We want more from society. We want more, and that more can't just be Facebook updates and tweets during August, when the rape doesn't go down during August, the femicide doesn't go down during August, neither does it during the 16 days of activism. Nothing changes. It's just our tone and how we speak, and our posts change, but in our homes, nothing changes. In our workspaces, nothing changes. In our political spaces, nothing changes. August is just like the rest of the months.
I-1,000 angikhona ukuhlala 2 weeks ngayo. I spend 60 rand, return 820, and I work every day, 5 days.
These people cannot continue to hold those offices of government, and also we are calling for them to be removed.
Due to your negligence, many people have died. You must go to jail for murder.
If you want our vote next year, make sure that you do what you are supposed to do.
Special assignment. Crime keeps the society in terror and pain. Why so?
If someone phones me, tells me, okay, look, I need a silver, and I get you all driving, I'll take it.
What pushes normal people to be so hard, heartless, and brutally kill one another?
The other side of it could be more for their own psychological need. It might be part of a sexual fantasy that they have. It could be about power and control.
After proper investigation is followed, the perpetrator gets arrested.
It's quite a massive process. And ultimately, they have payments, right? I think justice is served.
Emotional scars remain.
We would pay any price to get him back, and the sad reality is that it's gone.
Special assignment. We unravel the truth every Sunday at 21:30.
Nobuhle is still waiting for the police to show up. Cutting Edge visited the Department of Justice to speak to Praise Kambula. She's the advocate concerned with the protection of the rights of vulnerable communities such as women, children, and the elderly.
We have a piece of legislation that's quite broad. It explains domestic violence in a broader way than other countries. So the victim can go to the nearest magistrate office to apply for a protection order. But then if the act of domestic violence constitute a crime, what do I mean by that? The domestic violence will say that if somebody has slapped you or pushed you or probably sexually abused you, then that is an abuse in terms of the domestic violence, in terms of the Domestic Violence Act. But in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act, the same act is constitutes a crime. So it's the crime of sexual offences. So can go then to the nearest police station to also lay a criminal charge.
What kind of rights and privileges does a protection order afford a victim of abuse?
I can actually have you prohibited from, if it was sexual abuse, from you abusing me sexually. I can even have you prohibited from entering any part of the house if we are sharing residence with you. If we are probably, it's an intimate partner, so we share the bedroom, I can have you prohibited from entering my bedroom and say that I don't want you to enter my bedroom. I can also ask the court to grant me an order that will take you out of the shared residence.
Unfortunately, many victims of abuse, like Unobuhle, say their experience is different.
Police station kade bangijikisa mangithi ngithi bangisa le bathi ya ku station commander athi ayibakhipha iveni iphuma iveni izimthathe lo muntu mara bese lapho khambeni kwesikhathi umuntu wakhona uzobuya aphinde athi yena angeke ngize ngimbophise noma ngayaphi ngiyephi ngeke ngimbophise ndawo.
Although South Africa has a broad legislation protecting the rights of women, we still have an alarmingly high rate of femicide.
Where is the problem? Is the problem with prevention? Is the problem with coordination? Is the problem with response? Is the problem with the support services that we are providing the victims? Is it the problem with our laws and policies that is making us to have these brilliant pieces of legislation that have less impact in terms of stopping crime?
Dala umuntu beka thimaka lokhunja thothi maybe wenzele intembi so beka hlala lokhunja nenejele ahlala aqede isigwebo sakhe abuya be right mara manje hayi umuntu manje umbophisa manje uphumile.
I mean, there's a femicide. Can we acknowledge that there's a femicide? Can we acknowledge that every 2-3 days, or even more frequent than that, when you go onto your social media, someone's looking for their child, someone's looking for their daughter, someone's looking for their sister?
The reality is that South African women live under real and constant danger.
Saba ukuthi maybe angangibulala ngoba akaqali ukungisikaza ngeke ikhona. Last day sahlala emkhukhwini ke wangisikaza ngezembe abuye wangishaya ngefosholo.
Technology is used for both positive and negative.
Some governments block the internet in times of protest.
With this internet blackout, it's impossible for me to do it, so I have to travel to Douala.
This act is a true violation of the rights of citizens.
In Africa, people are always coming up with innovative ways to use technology to solve some of their problems.
The more interesting piece of technology is actually the artificial intelligence.
AI, it's utilizing data to make your life easier.
On Network, we'll give you Africa's technology and social media news.
Catch Network with Spumelele Zondi every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.